Hello everyone, it's Alana Wakeman here from the Forest and Bridge Real Estate Group at RE/MAX Real Estate Center. And it is time for Ask Alana, because it's been a really long time since I've done one of these. How to buy in this market here in 2021. So this market is a very, very, very strong seller's market. What this means, supply is low, so the number of actual listings is very, very low, and then the demand is very high for a variety of reasons. Interest rates are still low, which they basically have to be to kind of counteract these high prices. A lot of people are wanting to get out of cities and move outwards. Just a lot of different factors. People are not traveling this year, obviously, as much. Some of the items they might have spent money on, they've been able to save and now want to put towards a home. So it's challenging. It's very challenging. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I read a really good quote that says, I'm fully going to read it so I don't mess it up. The road to buying a home is bumpy, but it's not about the journey. It is about your final destination, and that will be worth it once you are able to get into the real estate market. So, how do you actually go about buying? Very first thing, and this goes for any market regardless of whether it's a seller's market or not, you 110% should have your financing mostly in place. So this means either going to your bank or to a mortgage broker. I am happy to give you recommendations if you do not have anyone for those things. Get your documents in order. Don't just do like some online pre-approval where you type some numbers into a calculator and go, oh, I can buy $700,000, because there's a lot of factors that will actually play into the final amount that you will be approved for, such as your credit score, your debt load, how much you make, if you're in a contract, if you're on probation, if you've switched jobs recently. Like, all of these things can affect whether you're going to get approved or not. With the way we're seeing offers right now, almost every listing is getting multiple offers. The more offers there are, the more likely it is that someone is going in firm. So that means no conditions, so no condition on financing. So in order to get a house, that may be what you need to do if you feel comfortable with that. Some people don't, and that's very okay. But if you're going in firm, you better be quite sure that you have your finances all in place and looked at by a professional. So that's the number one thing, because the less conditions you can do, the better. And financing you need to have ready to go so that you're not getting surprises after you've gone in with a firm offer and then finding out that the lender, your employment lender, doesn't say what it needs to, or they don't want to take someone who's on a contract, or you've done a complete career shift and they want to see more job history. So there's a lot of nuances with that, and I'd be happy to get into more financial stuff or have someone on to talk about that at another time. But that is number one thing, get those finances in place. Set realistic expectations. This one is one that, especially with first-time buyers, again in a general market, but especially now, what you might want or be hoping to buy or could have bought a year ago for whatever price point is not necessarily what you're going to be able to get now. So you're likely going to have to compromise on something. Think about what you're willing to compromise on and what you're not, or what you can't compromise on. So if you need to be in a certain location, be realistic about what's available in that location, and maybe instead of getting a detached home, you might have to consider semis if there are any in the area. Maybe your budget, you were hoping to cap it at, let's say, $400 for argument's sake, but your pre-approval is actually higher. Maybe in order to get the items that you want, you're going to have to compromise on that budget and go higher. If you were hoping to go into a property and stay there long term, maybe you have to look at a home that's going to be more of a stepping stone. So maybe instead of getting like a family style home with 3 or 4 bedrooms, you might be looking at something a little bit smaller with maybe only 2 bedrooms. The other thing that is worth considering is doing updates and upgrades. You will pay a premium for those already being done. If you're in a position where you're handy or you know people who are, or you're open to considering a home that you can kind of pick away at slowly, if there's nothing major that needs to be done immediately, that might be a good option to get maybe area, style of home, etc. that you want in your budget, but then ultimately you'll be spending some money over time. Now, that said, the sooner you can get into the real estate market, the better, because the reality is right now prices are going up much faster than most people can save to put extra money towards their down payments to kind of make up for that difference in what their pre-approval might be based on their income and what the actual prices are for houses. So that's not to be discouraging, it's just to say be realistic. It's probably going to take a couple of months to find something. That's not the case for everyone. I definitely had a couple buyers last year who we looked at maybe 5 or 6 houses and they were able to get something on their first or second offer. So it can happen. Know if you're in a popular price point, it is going to be challenging. Under 500, basically anywhere in the areas we cover is going to be a very popular price point with a lot of offers. Do everything you can to strengthen your offer in terms of conditions. Know what risks you're willing to take and what you're not. Get that financing in place. That is the big one, because you don't want problems with that before closing or on closing date. And really open your mind to considering options that you might not have otherwise considered. So again, maybe you're not going for the detached home, maybe you have to consider a townhouse, but it's going to get your foot in the door. It's going to allow you to start building your own wealth and your own equity and take advantage of this market increasing a bit rather than waiting another year. Of course, we don't have a crystal ball. I don't know for sure what's going to happen, but if prices continue to trend upward the way that they are, you may just be priced out. So that is your friendly tip on how to, or multiple tips, I suppose, on how to buy a home in this very Wild West sellers market of at least beginning of 2021. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, DM, email, text, website, phone call. There's lots of ways to get in touch, and I will make sure that there's plenty of contact information so that you can reach us. Other than that, wishing you very much luck if you are looking to purchase at this time. Thanks guys, have a good day.